two-part test, basically. I mean, a little more complicated than that, but 2 parts. Number one, targeted to create jobs specifically. And number 2, fiscally affordable. This is not about experimenting in massive ways, in incredibly ill-drafted ways, the entire fiscal system of our state. So, I mean, we don't need some sort of guesswork here, especially when you've got the credit rating and the services that we provide as a state as the losers, and the winners here, the narrow few who have the resources to make sure that they can go fashion their business entity in a way, and then in years to come have more people fashion their entities that way, so that more people, just because of what accountant they hire, will be able to avoid the richer you are. Plus, I mean, you look at some of the businesses that are already in this state organized as LLCs. I mean, the company that owns the gaming boats in St. Joe and in the eastern side up north of Mark Twain up there. It's an LLC in Las Vegas. What tax break should we give people in Vegas for people making bets here to move the economy of Missouri forward? I mean, the bottom line is these are experiments and not targeted, and I think would be deleterious because of both the dollars. But you can't make a very good argument that giving a tax break to some out-of-state LLC that has its own casinos is a way to move the economy of the state forward.
You just mentioned some other LLCs. I imagine there are several brackets that could cover tax accountants, developers. Why do you keep mentioning lawyers and lobbyists over and over?
They are very real examples of people that would benefit from this bill. And they are also very real examples of people that add very little economic oomph to the economy. They do important work in their own narrow areas, but I haven't heard anybody say, when we did our strategic plan for the state and went out and talked to 600 leaders in the state and put a 5-year blueprint together, there wasn't anybody in any of those sessions that said, we want to build our economy on the backs of lawyers and lobbyists. Okay? Instead, we talked about technology. The number one recommendation, education, a trained workforce. The number one thing. So I just use those as examples, but you can use folks that own casinos or real estate partnerships or whatever. I mean, those just are 2 that I think are strong and clear and unequivocal examples of how this bill is not targeted to create jobs. Instead, it is an experiment that benefits the few.
A few minutes ago, you